Welcome to Real People, Real Stories, where we are interviewing people just like you and me who are having success with redox molecules. My name is Dr. Barbie Phillips, and I am a chiropractic physician coming to you from Creation Chiropractic of Fargo, Oklahoma. I have been a chiropractic physician for 23 years for people and animals. And I've also been involved with the redox molecules, which we are going to talk about tonight, and for 3.5 years, personally and with clients of mine. So if you're new to redox molecules, let me explain just a little bit about them. Redox molecules are native to the human body. We're born with them, and they are important for every cellular function of our body. But what can happen is after puberty, we lose about 1% per year of these molecules. And so as we grow older and older, we lose the ability for our cells to function at the highest level. Also, things if we have injuries or some type of stress to our body, we will use up more of these molecules also. We are born with these molecules, so they're native to the body. But when we don't have enough, our body we need a way to put them back into the body. And there comes along our product from the ASEA company, but it's called ASEA Cell Signaling Supplement. And they have figured out how to stabilize redox molecules outside the human body so that we can consume them. It also comes in a gel form, and this can be rubbed on the body. So when we do put these redox molecules back into our body, they are tiny, tiny molecules. And because they're tiny, they can absorb into the cells very quickly and very easily. When this happens, they act as an on-off switch for the cell. So they turn the good cells on and the bad cells off, which is very, very important if we are trying to be as healthy as possible. Once this happens, it acts like a cascade effect. So it begins to not only affect the starting point, but it starts to cascade across other cells. And then this can have a domino effect through the cells of our body. Over time, this helps us have more resilience to stress and helps us to have overall wellness. I will place a disclaimer here. Anything that we talk about tonight is not intended to diagnose, treat, or prevent or cure any medical condition. It's simply going to be a testimony from a user of these molecules and how it has worked for them in their healthcare journey. And just keep in mind that we're going to hear these testimonies. And again, they're not intended to diagnose or treat any condition. So tonight's guest is David Ekrut. And I'm going to turn it over to our guest, our co-host, and that's Kathleen Oliveri, and let her introduce herself, a little bit about her background, and then interview our guests tonight. Kathleen?
Great. Thanks so much, Barbie. We're so glad to see each of you here watching this. I'm Kathleen Oliveri, and I'm coming to you from Mississippi. I have been taking the redox molecules that Dr. Barbie has done a great job talking about for over 4 years, and I've never felt better. But let's get to our guest today. David, I'm so glad that you joined us today. Please just tell us a little bit about you and your background, just a little bit about who you are, and so we kind of get a feel for David.
Well, my name is David Ekrut. I will be 80 in a month, and I was a paint contractor during my working years, and in fact, I finally retired just 1.5 years ago. But I've done a few other things. I didn't paint the whole time, but I have always enjoyed talking to people and everything. A friend of mine called me about redox, or, about ASEA. And I told him, I said, I'm not interested in it at all, because I have been in network marketing companies since back probably about 74. And I'm not interested. He said, well, look at it for the medical side of it, or for the other side, not about a business side. So I did, and that was 12 years ago. This past May the 20th.
So, David, once you looked at it and saw, what did you see and what really piqued your interest about this?
To be honest, nothing. It was just that this man had been a very successful businessman, and he had been on the $1 million roundtable for the selling insurance. He had been on a couple of presidential boards and things like that. And he said, just try it. So that's where my testimony starts. Because,
well, by all means, David, please tell us, once you started to take it, what happened then?
well, to me, nothing really happened. But we joined on May the 20th, 2011. On May the 25th, 2011, I had a great grandson born. And he had an issue where his lungs could fill up with a real heavy mucus. And they would clap their hand on the back of their back to break this mucus loose back in the old days. And so I didn't, scared us all to death because he was just 2 or 3 months old when we found out about this. I was able to talk to Dr. Gary Samuelson on the phone. Now, if y'all don't know, he is the atomic medical physicist that stabilized the molecules outside the body. And he told me, he said, David, I would start giving it to him by the eyedropper full. Just take an eyedropper, drop it in his mouth. Some of it may drool out, but some of it will go in. And he said, then every time they change his diaper, rub his chest with the ASEA. Because back then, this was years before we had the Renew 28. And he said, these molecules are so small that they will penetrate the pores of his skin. He said, it's like dropping a BB through a basketball goal. And so they started doing that. My great-grandson is 12 years old now. He's playing junior high football, or middle school, whatever they call it nowadays. And he has never been in the hospital due to this disease. Now, they lived in Austin, so they would take him to Dell's Children's Hospital every 3 months for a wellness checkup. My grandson took the information that I sent him to the doctors there, and they looked at it and they said, we don't think it'll hurt him. Go ahead and do it. So as the years went by, and my great-grandson never got sick or anything like that. Of course, he had colds and, this kind of thing. But they said he's their poster child because he is doing so well. Now, I have to be frank with you. He has not taken the ASEA now because they have him on a medication that the doctors don't want anything that could interfere with their keeping track of what's going on. But my grandson has told me many times, he said, if something ever happens, I'll get him back on ASEA immediately. So, we don't know where he would be without the ASEA. Another one of my favorite testimonies is we started, like I said, May the 20th, 2011, Father's Day weekend of 2011. We lived down close to Austin, and we were driving up to Oklahoma for a family reunion, Father's Day weekend. We're up the other side of Dallas, driving along. My wife looks over at me, and she had some health issues. And she said, you realize if it wasn't for ASEA, I wouldn't be sitting here beside you today. So I'm sold on it.
That's wonderful to hear how it has affected your family in such an impactful way. That is phenomenal. Now, I understand too that we have some pictures that we might want to show of some before and afters of some different things that have happened to you, I believe. And congratulations on the age. I mean, my goodness, and working in just for a year and a half ago. But so tell us about what we're about to see, then I think Dr. Barbie's going to show some before and afters also
Yes,
on the
ma'am. When
screen.
she shows them, I'll explain them. Okay, this was where I had my eyelids lifted several years ago. They were drooping down, and my eye doctor told me, said, we need to get that fixed. So I go in, she does the surgery, and this is just a week between the first surgery, the first picture, and the last picture. And all I would do is spray my eyes with the ASEA in a little spray bottle and rub Renew 28. And also I would use the serum and rub it around on my eyes also. So that's an amazing thing.
That's incredible. I think that's just a week apart. That's crazy.
And this one is where an old man did something crazy. The first picture, I was sanding a cabinet from my wife out on the front porch, and I hung my toe and tripped and hit on my left knee. Now, I've had knee surgery, partial knee replacement several years before this, but the one with the bruise on it was 5 minutes after I fell. I went in and rubbed Renew on it 3 times in 5 minutes, and the one on the left was 50 minutes later. My knee never got sore. It never swelled up or anything. So, oh, this one's a good one.
Again, incredible, you know.
I was coming out of Walmart in Abilene. I had bought a TV, and a guy was carrying it out for me. This was just last June, I think, or June is a year ago. And not paying any attention, I stepped off the curb, and where you walk out of Walmart, there's no step down. But where we were walking, there was about a 3-inch step down. So I stepped down and tripped and hit on my left arm, just flat on the road. And I took that one when I got back to my truck, which wasn't 30 yards away. And I got out one of my little sample tubes of Renew 28 and started rubbing it on it. Now, the last picture is only 7 days later. So the healing works. And I would put the Renew 28 and the serum on it also.
Incredible. I think we have one more too.
Yes, ma'am. This is where I had a Mohs procedure done on the side of my face. When I was a young man, we didn't know to wear protection or anything. And being a house painter in Houston, Texas, was hot, hard work. And, you know, I wore a cap, but that doesn't protect you much. So I've had several different types of the crazy cells cut off my face. This is a Mohs procedure. And the second picture is 7 days later after just putting the Renew 28 and the serum on it.
Well, you can definitely see the difference and how a big of a difference it is. That is the pictures are really incredible, David. I think if you had tried to tell us about it, yeah, we could have understood, but the pictures really mean so much more in terms of understanding how the redox signaling molecules can help a person.
Yes, ma'am, that's exactly right.
And good for you to carry it everywhere you go, because it seems like you are a little accident prone, perhaps.
What?
It seems like, you know, of course, you've got all these great examples for us. And so I'm glad to have the examples, but, you know, we need you to take care of yourself. And so thank goodness you take the molecules with you when you're traveling around.
Yes, I do.
Well,
In fact,
you know,
go ahead.
no, you go ahead, David.
In fact, I've got things sitting over on the counter. I'm getting ready to go to convention. I only live 125 miles from Fort Worth, so I've got to drive over there tomorrow morning. But the blue bottle on my left over here by the door, that's the one we drink every day. The blue bottle that you can kind of see over next to the refrigerator is the one I'm taking, even though we're going to get a bottle at the convention. But we're going to be going a lot and everything, so I'm going to be taking more. I take about 8 ounces a day as it is, because like Dr. Barbie said a while ago, as we age, we don't produce the molecules. And by the time you're 70 years old, you're only running on about 10%. Well, that was 10 years ago. So I've got to keep mine up.
Exactly. You are far too active, and I'm glad that you are that way. It seems like the Redox is helped not only yourself, but members of your family, and you've certainly seen a lot of things. So just to kind of wrapping this up, we are so glad that you've shared with us. What are some things that if someone was considering looking at redox signaling molecules, what would you tell them about it that would help them make a decision to maybe use these products?
Well, I carry several tubes of the little sample tubes. Yeah, you can see it there in my truck. And it's like the other day, I went into this place to get an adjustment at it's called The Joint. It's a chiropractor place. And the little girl, the receptionist, had a spot on the side of her face. And I asked her, I said, what happened? She said, oh, I burned myself with a curling iron. I said, well, when I get through in the back, I've got something for you. So I went out and got some of this, went back in and showed her how to use it and everything. Well, she is considering very much looking at doing the ASEA as a business. She's only 21 years old, and she's having trouble with acne. I mean, with little bumps on her face. And so I talked to her the other day, and she said, would this help this? I said, I can't say yes or no, but I said, all I can say is try it and see. So as soon as I get back from convention, we're going to meet up and talk some more. But I talked to everybody, or not everybody, but I talked to a lot of people. And, to be honest, I don't follow up like I need to. And the fortune is in the follow-up. So I can tell y'all, follow up. Don't do like I do. Do as I say.
Well, you're certainly a great testimony in terms of using the product and keeping you at a, just going without stopping. And I think that's wonderful. Dr. Barbie, I would like to bring you back on and see if there's any final questions that you might have for David, and then kind of wrap us up.
Okay, I don't really necessarily have any final questions. I do want to thank David for participating in our interview tonight. It's been really great to get to know you and your story, and I look forward to hopefully in person meeting you at one of these events one of these days. And we will open it up now. If we have any of our viewers that would like to ask David any questions tonight, just please unmute and you can turn your camera on if you'd like to speak to David and ask a question. Now's the time to do it. All right, it doesn't look like we have any takers tonight, David. So again, I want to thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time. We wish you safe travels as you go to convention and learn lots of great new things to share with everyone. We would like to mention for anyone viewing this on a recording to make sure that when you're ready to get started with cell signaling molecules, that you purchase your products from a reputable person, a reputable ASEA associate, and that you don't go online, buy it on eBay or on Amazon or something. You never know what kind of products you're getting, and you do get a guarantee back from the company. This will be recorded and it will be posted on our Creation Chiropractic YouTube channel, as well as the ASEA United page for those that are involved with that. It'll also be on my personal Facebook page under Barbie Phillips. And Norm, do you have a question for Dave?
No, I just got on about 10 minutes late because the cell phone didn't like the Zoom feature. So I had to email a link to myself.
Oh, well, we're glad
I
you
feel
got
bad.
on.
I missed about 10 minutes of, these very interesting stories.
Oh, well, we're glad you got to hop on.
I,
So
I, I appreciate the ones I got to listen in on.
there you
Thank
go.
you.
All right, David. Well, thank you so much. And we invite everyone to join us back in 2 weeks where we will interview another guest at 6:30 p.m. Central Time on Real People, Real Stories. And that will be on Tuesday, October 3rd. Until then, we will wish everyone a wonderful rest of your week and we will talk soon. Take care.
Thank you.